Good afternoon, and welcome to HCAM's coverage of Hopkinton Hiller Varsity Boys Baseball, coming to you from the turf field at Hopkinton High School. I'm your host for the moment, John Ritz. I'm hoping to be joined by Dylan in just a few minutes, who will help with the call of the game. I'll be running the camera most of the time here. It is an absolutely gorgeous day out here. Little on the cool side, but perfect and sunny and dry, and we're in great shape for a game. We also have Hiller girls softball going on just a few feet away from me. So go split screen and watch both games. Up, and I see Dylan coming in now. I'm going to step aside, let you watch the group at the plate, and then we'll get Dylan in here to go talking. All right, and we're back. And we're going to bring in Dylan Hatherley,
All
who's going to
right.
be doing the commentary here. I'm going to be running the camera, so I'm not going to talk that much.
Excited to get after it. It's a great day for baseball. Looks like the clouds are coming in a little bit, but a little bit warmer than last Wednesday, it seems. Still windy, though, but
It is always windy and cold up here for some reason.
yeah, it's somewhat of a wind tunnel at these turf fields.
How is it down on the field? You played on the team last year, right?
Yeah, well, it always feels hotter on the turf because there's the black pellets, so I guess there's
Sure.
some science behind that. It attracts the heat, but yeah, it never feels too cold, but this is a great field. It's always, we were all really excited about it when they build these turf
Oh,
fields.
yeah. All right, looks like we're getting ready to go here.
All right.
So who's pitching? Who's batting?
Yeah, I'm trying to pull the.
Get the rosters up there. First, grounder to the short.
All right, so this is Micah Gay for Hopkinton on the mound. Micah has only had a handful of innings thus far, but he's a great arm for the team. He was hurt last year. Looks like that one's going to come in right below the zone.
Some type up, yeah. They're giving us balls and strikes up on the board today.
Awesome. Looking at a 2-0 count now for Micah. Micah's going to look to work back, probably stick with that fastball here, as he does. That one's going to clip the outside of the zone. When you fall into these counts and you don't get ahead with the first strike, oftentimes left to throw exclusively that fastball for this team, as that one's going to find some outfield grass for a leadoff single for the Mustangs. That was Towski with the hit.
Here we go.
Micah back on the rubber, checking out that man at first base. Pretty small lead. Does a good job getting up there. Finds a spot. And this is sophomore Kell at the plate for the Mustangs. That one hit into right field. It's going to bounce off the wall. That's Pedroli in center field on the relay. They're sending him. There's going to be a play at the plate, and the tag's not going to be there. The guy at second's going to hold up. Looks like there was some miscommunication on the relay out in right field. Not the start that the Hillers were looking for. Kell on the hit there is a player for the Northeast Longhorns. The Medway coach has spoken very highly of him in the past. That's Coach Mike Coppinger for Medway. And now we're going to have Smith at the plate as Gay stays on the mound, looking to collect some outs early on. He's going to throw a first pitch curveball that can't find the zone. You'll see Gay mix up his looks towards second base. And again, early on, it looks like he's had a tendency to miss low, maybe not planting that front leg as much as you'd like to see. 2-0 count for the Hillers. He'll check the runner with an inside move. holds on to that one. And that one looks like it's going to be popped up into shallow right field, and the runner's going to hold up. It's a good job by Lang getting under that one and immediately checking that runner. Not that you'd typically see a guy tag from that position, but good job nonetheless. Lang, formerly an infielder for the Hillers, made a transition just this year. He started in the infield for the team just 2 years ago as they made their playoff run to the Elite Eight.
Ooh, nice swing and a miss.
That's a good job by Gay attacking the zone there. He's done a good job mixing in the off speed. Once he can get that sorted out, I think he's going to find some success. Again, not able to locate that fastball as much as you'd like to see early on. We'll be looking at a 1-1 count now on Duguay at the plate. Micah mixing up his looks towards second. And he's just going to miss there. That one's going to roll back as Mahan handles it, but that runner will advance to third base. With 2 outs here, you'll see the infield stays back. No need to have those guys in. 2-1 count. You'd expect to see Micah attack this guy, as he will. And that one into right field, right along that foul line. That one goes foul as Lang looks to have maybe had a play on it, but holds up right before that one bounces off the screen over there. Couldn't get a great angle at it if it did hit the screen before. Not much room out there in right field for those guys. And Gay sets up for the pitch. That one popped up into shallow right. That might be no man's land. It is not. Lang gets under it, and that's going to end the top of the first inning for the Hillers. A good recovery to collect some outs after a shaky start. It's going to be interesting to see if Coach Anderson sticks with his committee-style pitching, and we might see a new arm in this second inning.
We'll take a little break and be right back. All right, we're back.
All right. Number 66 pitching for the Mustangs as Matt Pedroli will lead the Hillers off. Had a good game on Wednesday against Holliston, as he'll watch that first one just outside of the zone. Pedroli has been a key bat for the Hillers so far as a sophomore, as he'll watch that one again, now bringing up a 2-0 count.
His brother's played as well, right? I recognize
He
the
did.
name.
His brother now plays at Bentley. I'm not sure how his season's been going, but Matt's pretty much picked up the...
Ooh.
Ooh, that one's a little inside, now bringing up a 3-0 count. This would be an important leadoff man for the Hillers as they are currently trailing 1 run. He'll turn on that one into shallow left field, some miscommunication, but he will get under it. 1 out for the Mustangs. As I was saying, Pedroli has picked up some of his brother's slack as he's left. Nick Pedroli was very productive last year, batted over 400, I believe, for the team and played right field. This is Noah Kromis at the plate. He'll watch that first one come in. He'll get a piece of that one off the end of the bat. Kromis with a .528 on base percentage so far. This is going to be an important base runner that the Hillers are hoping to get early on. And sure enough, that one's going to come in and hit him as he was hit twice last game on Wednesday against Holliston.
I'm not surprised. He came close to hitting a couple other batters, though.
Yeah, you'll notice Coach Anderson is huge on his hitters getting right up on that white line. You'll see that again here. A little bit lesser to an extent for the 3 and 4 hitters, some of the stronger hitters on the team, but he's very big on selfless hitting. This is Trevor Hodney at the plate now. Trevor 2 hits on Wednesday in a crucial win against TVL rival Holliston. He'd look to do the same today. Trevor will ground that one to second. He'll look to turn the double play, but he'll hold on to it. Fielder's choice. 2 outs for the Hillers in the bottom of the first inning. And this will bring up Mike Sullivan at the plate. Man on first will pick up a sign. They'll hold him up, and that's going to be a first pitch curveball. It's going to fall right into the zone. Mike has not gotten as many first pitch fastballs in at bats as I'm sure he would like so far. That one's going to be flown up high into shallow right field, and it looks like he lost it in the sun, as there's going to be no play at second base. Runners at first and second. Oh no, sorry, that scored one.
I was going to say.
Yeah, sorry, I got confused. So Mike's going to be on second base there as Trevor Hodney will score. Looks like he completely lost that one in the sun.
Yeah, in right field, you're looking right into the sun.
Definitely, yeah.
This time of day.
It's tough. This is going to be Cal Mahan, the catcher at the plate for the Hillers, as Mike takes a big lead off second base. That one's going to be fouled down that third base line. Cal has made some big steps this offseason at the plate for the Hillers. Working with Coach Anderson for the Longhorns can probably credit a lot of that. that one's going to be popped up foul. Good opportunity for the Hillers with a runner in scoring position. Cal now looking at an 0-2 count though, so we'll see him try to push this one the other way. You'll see his toes right up on that white line again. And that one will be grounded to third base. He'll throw it on the run, and he's got him. So that's going to be the third out for the Mustangs as we wrap up the first inning, and we'll be back in just a moment.
HCAM programming is supported by our viewers. Thank you. And by WPC Pest Control. Don't tolerate, eliminate your pest problem. Find them online at nobugsnopests.com.
Saturday morning cartoons are back. Every Saturday at 8 a.m., HCAM's Toon Time has an hour of classic cartoons, from Betty Boop to Superman to Popeye to Bugs Bunny and more. You'll see your old favorites and discover new ones. So tune in to Toon Time, Saturdays at 8, and start your weekend off with a laugh.
HCAM programming is supported by viewers like you and by Beaumaine Pizza Bar and Grill. For over 25 years, Beaumaine has been serving great quality food for the whole family, featuring hand-tossed pizzas, paninis.
All right, and we're back.
All right, this is going to be, let's see who's on the mound for them.
Number 20.
This is going to be Pat Riley on the mound for the Hillers. Started the game on Wednesday against Holliston, only went 1 inning, scoreless. Pat is a freshman for the Hillers. You can find him playing basketball as he did this last winter as well. His older brother Nolan Riley, Jr. on the team, also a pitcher, has not gotten quite as much action as Pat on the mound thus far. As Cal's going to throw that one down, and we're going to get ready to get this inning underway.
I figure while we have a moment, I'll update the score and the inning. There we go. Always forget something. All right.
Pat Riley will set up on the mound in the windup as the pitch comes in. Looks like it's going to clip that upper inside edge of the strike zone. As he'll get up in the count. 0-1 count as the pitch comes in. He'll mix in the off speed as that one can't clip the zone. But that one will.
Nice.
1-2 count now. Pat been mixing in the off speed early, keeping these guys on their toes. And that one's going to be rolled to the shortstop. He'll make a routine play. That's Travis Rich at short. The Hillers collect their first out. You see the difference it makes when you get up with that first pitch strike. That's something that Coach Anderson is huge on, as I'm sure all coaches are. There's been proven to be a pretty strong correlation with that and success on the mound. As he'll throw another first pitch curveball that will be floated into shallow mid-right field, actually, for a base hit. That was Alex Bossy there. Longhorn, one of Coach Anderson's players, unfortunately having some success against him here. His brother Evan Bossy will be up now. Interestingly, the coach of Medway, Coach Coppinger, and Coach Patelis, the assistant coach, both work with Matt for the Longhorns. So definitely a bit of a rivalry, as that one's going to be just under the zone. Pat will check that runner out of the stretch and can't find the zone there either.
But we did have a swing on that first pitch.
Yes, 1-1 count here. Pat will check the runner. He'll be in easily.
How's his move to first?
Pat's?
Yeah.
I mean, that one looks fine. Stepped off, yeah. I think he's just trying to keep that guy close. It's tough as a righty.
Yeah.
As Pat's going to find the zone there.
In the past, we've had some pitchers with just great moves to first.
Yeah, like Jack Arthur, Matt Gahn. Those
Yeah.
guys were both lefties, but I remember they would pick off guys, like, seemed like every game. That one's going to be grounded to Rich as he'll backhand it and get a nice scoop from Mike at first base for the out. Looks like Travis made the right call to go to first there, as that one was hit to his backhand. Would have been tough to have any sort of a chance at second. So the Hillers now collect their second out with a runner in scoring position now. Pat's going to set up on that rubber, and he will step off. Checks the runner, and he's going to throw another first pitch curveball that just can't find the zone. He's done a lot of that so far. 2 first pitch curveballs through 4 batters. Mixing up his looks. It's going to make a 2-0 count now. I think he's going to go right at him here with the fastball. And a busy inning for Rich over there at shortstop. Makes the 3rd out for the Hillers. They're very grateful to have him back from an injury just earlier this year that held him out for the first couple weeks. And now we head into the bottom of the 2nd inning. We'll be back in just a moment.
No worries. We're back.
All right.
We are back. 1 strike already.
And this is going to be Danny Davenport at the plate, as he's going to watch that one to bring up an 0-2 count. Danny has been one of the several guys that's been mixed into the outfield so far, along with Fitzgibbons and Lang. Pedroli and Danny, as Cafazzo's also gotten some time out there, and Kramis as well, as he'll watch another one to bring up the 2-2 count. Danny was a pitcher only for the team last year. Over the offseason at some point, made the decision that he wanted to get back at the plate, and he's been pretty successful thus far, as he'll watch that one to bring up the full count. Danny batting .273 headed into this game. And it looks like they'll have him there as he goes down swinging. It was an aggressive pitch there, caught the upper inside half of the strike zone. Looks like Danny might have been sitting for some sort of off speed, as the pitcher misfired a few of those earlier in the at-bat. And this is going to be Travis at the dish here for Hopkinton. Travis batting .250 with a .357 on base percentage, as he'll turn on that one, and the shortstop cannot make the play as that dribbles into shallow left field. Looks like Travis got a little on top of that, but hit really hard off the bat, and the shortstop could not stay down on it. Important for the Hillers to get that leadoff man on base. Not leadoff man, sorry, but
get a runner on.
Yes.
On the paths.
That one, a swinging bunt of sorts. It looks like he's going to be in there at first base. That's going to move Travis to second. That was laying there.
That was nice.
Lang has been a very hot bat for the Hillers lately. Had 2 hits in the game on Monday against Norwood, I believe. And this is going to be Connor Moore at the plate for the Hillers, as he's going to misfire on the inside move, and both runners will advance. Big opportunity for freshman Connor Moore here. Runners on second and third base.
Little discussion at the mound.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to huddle up. But Connor so far has had some success at the plate, but also struggled early on as a freshman. He's batting in the mid-100s so far, but he has hit a double and a triple, so he showed some flashes of some pop off the bat. He's been excellent in the infield for these guys. He played some shortstop early on while Travis was injured, as he's now been shuffled around at other spots since Travis has been back. But let's see if he can do some damage here for the Hillers to take an early lead.
Just don't hit into a double play. That's all I want.
Yeah. Pitcher sets up in the windup. Moore will watch that one as it grazes the outside of the strike zone. 1 out for the Hillers. And Moore will turn on that one as it goes just foul. But there you can see some of that pop that we were just talking about. That one hit hard down the line. Could have been huge if it found some fair grass. 0-2 count on Moore now. He'll look to straighten that one out.
Oof.
And he'll swing right through that one. 2 outs here for the Hillers. Still 2 runners in scoring position. And this will bring up Matt Pedroli for the Hillers. That one's going to come in. Almost looked like it
I thought that
Was
was going to
right
hit
there
him.
to clip his shoulder, but it did not. Pedroli turned, and it just missed him. Few guys better for this job on this Hillers team, as he'll turn on that one into deep left field, and he will backpedal and bring that one in, which will end the bottom of the second inning. Looks like Pedroli just missed that one. Left field gets pretty deep out there beyond that short opening right down the line. 1-1 game at the end of the second, and we'll be right back.
HCAM programming is supported by viewers like you and by Western Nurseries. Since 1923, Western Nurseries has been rooted in a passion for plants and community. The family business has grown from its beginnings in Weston to become a trusted name across Massachusetts. Western Nurseries offers one of the area's best selections of hardy landscape-sized plants, quality gardening and hardscape products, and expert advice you can trust. With locations throughout the region and over a century of experience, Western Nursery continues to help communities grow beautifully.
This program is brought to you in part by TVLSports.net. You can view the standings, stories, pictures, highlights, and more about the 12 teams in the Tri-Valley League at TVLSports.net. TVLSports.net is an independent news and media website reporting on the TVL and is not associated with the MIAA, Tri-Valley League, or any town or school.
All right, we're back.
All right, looks like Pat Riley will stay on the mound for the Hillers after an efficient last inning. It is interesting. While this team is mostly composed of juniors, some underclassmen have had some big opportunities early on, as that one's going to come in just above the strike zone. Sophomore Matt Pedroli been a huge piece for this team. And as we talked about, Pat and Connor Moore getting involved early on, as that one will be fouled back and dribbled towards the backstop. Bring up a 1-1 count. Patrick in the windup. As he'll step off. Generous call from Blue there, as that one finds the inside of the strike zone with that curveball. And that one will be dribbled to third base as he bobbles it. It's a tough leadoff runner for them to allow on. Always a tough feeling as a pitcher when that guy gets on and your defense can't make plays behind you. But he'll look to work back here. Lefty at the dish for Medway. As that will be called a ball. That will work back to a 1-1 count here. He'll take a look over at that guy on first, working out of the stretch. Slide step, and he will swing right through that one. That's Towski at the plate, 1 for 1 on the day. Pat Riley now up to 19 pitches, bringing up the 1-2 count. As Cal can't handle that one, and the runner will take second on the pass ball. That was Trevor Hodney at third for that play just a batter ago. Patrick worked with some base runners last inning. out of the stretch. As he'll throw some off speed that Davenport cannot handle in left field. As there will be a play at third base, and he's in there. Tough situation to put on Pat there on the mound. That's 2 errors on the inning for him. Certainly a frustrating feeling as a pitcher. You know he'll battle back, but it's always frustrating at the high school level. But one of the realities of the game, nonetheless. Pat now dealing with runners on second and third as Eric Kell steps up to the plate for the Mustangs. No one holding that runner there at second. As that one will fall in for a first pitch strike. Pat again, heavy on that first pitch curveball. Infield back. As that one can't find the strike zone. No outs so far for the Hillers. Men on second and third, bringing up the 1-1 count. Pat still working out of the stretch here with the runner on third base. As a batter will swing right through that one, bringing up a 1-2 count here. A strikeout would be huge for the Hillers right about now.
Finish them off.
As Anderson will call time and have a word with Cal and Pat at the mound. Interesting to see the infield still back here. 1-1 game in the third inning. Wouldn't be unusual to have these guys in and try to make a play at the plate here. But it looks like Anderson's gonna trust his defense and know that his offense is gonna need to put up some more runs along the way regardless. As the ump will call time in and Pat will step back on the rubber. Still no hold on second base. Eric Kell at the plate for Medway. 1-2 count, and he'll watch that one. A huge strikeout for the Hillers early on.
They needed that one.
Yeah, that's huge. Absolutely huge. And base hit into shallow left field. Davenport will handle that. And there's going to be a play at the plate, but the relay was not in time. So no play at the plate after all. That was Eric Kell again with his second hit and third RBI of the day. Or that was Smith, apologies, with 2 RBIs on that single there. As Anderson's gonna pull the leash on Pat, bringing in a new arm. Like we talked about, this Hillers team has no shortage of talented arms. And Matt has made sure to use them so far.
So who do we have up there now?
This is going to be Thomas McCarthy, who pitched on Wednesday. He's got great off speed. Velocity sits in the high 70s, I believe. Mid to high 70s here. Expect him to work in a lot of early off speed. Hopefully try to keep these guys in their toes, but an unfortunate series of events for the Hillers to start this third inning.
Over
Pat
on
Riley.
I was going to say over on the softball field, they're They're also having some issues. They are down 4-1 in the second inning.
That's right. They've had some big wins recently. Pat Riley looked pretty good on the mound for the Hillers despite 2 runs allowed, both of which are going to be unearned for him.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. A couple errors. Just
He did
put
look
him
good though. He's got good velo.
just put him in a tough situation that he did his best to get out of, but
Cool to see him so comfortable with that first pitch curveball though, especially as a freshman.
yeah.
He definitely didn't look flustered out there. He didn't lose sight of the zone even with those errors, but ultimately the more guys you have to face, some of those hits are gonna start stringing along.
All right.
This is Duguay at the plate for Medway, 0 for 1 on the day. As Thomas cannot find the zone on that first pitch, bringing up the 1-0 count. Duguay batting .294 going into the day. As that one will find the strike zone. 1-1 count here for Thomas. Duguay, the only player on Medway with a home run so far this year, so definitely some power on that bat as he'll foul that one back. Thomas ahead in the count, still dealing with that runner on first base, and that will send him back to the dugout with a strikeout for Thomas's first batter. McCarthy's generally one of these guys that pitches to quite a bit of contact, but always good when you can get some Ks early on, especially with runners on base. Take some pressure off of your defense as well when they've had some struggles. And that one's going to be fouled up over the backstop. Thomas getting ahead early on. That one will be called a ball as Thomas works out of the slide step. 2 outs now for the Hillers in a 1-1 count. As that one will be fouled to the backstop.
We do have a runner on first, but he doesn't seem to be threatening much.
No,
He's taking
2
a couple
outs, you'd
steps.
expect him to probably stay right there, though. I don't know how aggressive on the bases this Medway team is. Thomas still working out of the slide step there with a filthy curveball that'll get him swinging. 2 strikeouts for Thomas coming into a tough situation with a runner on. He does a great job limiting damage there. Looked great. We'd expect to see him back out there next inning, but we'll have to wait a few minutes for that. But that'll wrap up the top of the 3rd inning. We'll be right back. looks like we have a pitching change for Medway for the bottom of the third inning as Kromis steps up to the plate. He was hit in his last at-bat. He's batting in the 2 spot. And again, that might be the 4th time in the last 2 games that Kromis has gotten beamed there. I don't know how much he loves that, but I can tell you that Coach Anderson's definitely thanking him for it. That one looks like it might have clipped the back of his helmet. So really, the name of the game is just to get on base, especially as the leadoff guy. And Kromis has been very efficient at that with a .528 on-base percentage, among the best on the team. This brings up Trevor Hodney, 0 for 1 on the day. He's playing third base for the Hillers right now as he'll watch that first strike. Pitcher will check Kromis at first base. Goes slide step, and Trevor Hodney's going to send that one up the middle. No play at second. Got a barrel on that one. It's a great piece of hitting. Stayed through the zone on that one. Moves Kromis over. The Hillers now look at men on first and second with no outs. Bringing up Mike Sullivan. Probably has the most power on the team, batting in the 4 spot, apologies. Kromis is hunting fastball. Sullivan hunting fastball, that is, as that one's going to dribble back.
You know, I've never seen a home run hit at this field in all the years I've been doing this. Would be a great time to see one.
Pedroli would send a bunch into, Nick Pedroli, into right field. He was a lefty. It's a pretty short fence to right. Sullivan gets a barrel on that one. Hit really hard. Looks like Kromis will be held up at third base. Matt playing it conservative with no outs. So now we'll have bases loaded for Cal Mahan. Another great piece of hitting. Stayed through that one. Sent it the other way. Mike's done a lot of that over the last couple of years for this team. And that one's going to be fair. Can expect a lot of runs coming in here. Great job by Cal. He's going to be held up at second. That is a 3 RBI double. And Cal's going to advance to third. He'll round it. Anderson's going to keep him right there. That is huge for the Hillers. Great piece of hitting from Cal. Seen a lot of great at-bats out of these guys this inning. Trevor starting it off with a hard hit single up the middle, and then Sullivan and Cal sending the ball the other way. Cal's going to be pinch ran for, as I imagine he needs to get his catcher's gear on. That's going to be Boschman running for Cal, as the Hillers are now looking at a 4-3 lead. Medfield's going to bring the infield in here with no outs. It's an interesting move. Pitcher working out of the stretch. That one's going to be called a strike as it clips the outside of the zone. This is Danny Davenport at the plate for the Hillers. He'll watch another one. I don't think he liked either of those too much, judging on how he looks over at the bench after that one. Catcher sets up on the outside of the zone. And that's going to be a swinging third strike. Looks like Danny thought the catcher may have dropped it for a second there as he starts galloping towards first base, but sent back to the dugout. is going to huddle around the mound as coach comes out. Wouldn't be shocked to see a pitching change here.
Yeah, I was going to say, not a lot of strategy to discuss. We've got
Yeah.
one runner on third, and that's...
It's only up to 9 pitches. It would be interesting to pull him now after the strikeout, which it looks like they're not going to do.
May have just been a few words of encouragement more than anything.
Definitely settle him down a little bit. This is Travis at the plate. He's been stellar in the infield so far this game. Not unusual for him. Travis is going to look to score Boschman. And he'll watch that one for an inside strike call. Travis was right up on the plate there, but still definitely on that inner half. He's going to look to put the bunt down. He'll foul that back. A definite bunt situation. It's interesting to see how Coach Anderson has adopted bunting into his coaching strategy. I know a few years back he was pretty against the idea of bunting, but Coach Simos, longtime coach for the Hillers, has always been for it, and it looks like they've sort of combined their philosophies as Anderson's picked that up and made that a thing that we see pretty often from the Hillers. But Travis is going to swing through that one and go down, bringing up 2 outs for the Hillers as Lang steps up to the plate. Lang 1 for 1 on the day, playing right field as well. Senior captain, might I add. And he'll watch that one come in for a strike call. You'll see the Medway infield playing at normal depth with 2 outs now. Lang just can't get a barrel on that one. 0-2 count here. Really just looking to get the ball in play now. Wow. That's a tough call for Lang. I know he's not going to be too happy about that one. Two tough strike calls in that at bat. But that's high school baseball. That'll happen sometimes. So.
But the Hillers played at 3 and take the lead, so
yep,
it's all good.
4-3 ball game after the 3rd inning, and we'll be back in just a moment.
HCAM programming is supported by viewers like you and by Phipps Insurance Agency, a family-owned and operated independent agency located in Hopkinton. Since 1950, Phipps Insurance has provided competitively priced, time-tested coverage tailored to individuals' needs. Specializing in home, auto, business, condo, and renters insurance, they are deeply rooted in the communities they serve. Whether you're new to the area or a lifelong resident, you'll benefit from the trusted advice of their professional service advisor.
Saturday morning cartoons are back. Every Saturday at 8 a.m., HCAM's Toon Time has an hour of classic cartoons, from Betty Boop to Superman to Popeye to Bugs Bunny and more. You'll see your old favorites and discover new ones. So tune in to Toon Time, Saturdays at 8, and start your weekend off with a laugh. We're back.
All right, we're back for the top of the 4th inning. McCarthy's going to stay out there on the bump after an efficient couple of batters to pick up Riley right where he left off in the top of the 3rd inning. The Hillers look to clean up some of their defensive mistakes from last inning that attributed those 2 runs scored. But they do have a 1-run cushion now, courtesy of Cal Mahan's 3 RBI double last inning. McCarthy's going to work out of the windup, as this is Alex Bossy at the plate, 1 for 1 on the day. An aggressive first pitch that can't find the strike zone from McCarthy. Throw that curveball that Bossy's going to turn on. It's going to find some outfield grass for a base hit. That's Bogosian out in left now, handling that one. Looks like Davenport was subbed out of the game. Bogosian had a great game on Wednesday with some crucial hits for Hopkinton in their win over Holliston, 5-1. And now, brother of Alex Bossy, Evan Bossy, at the plate. He's going to look to put a bunt down, and he will, but it's going to dribble foul. McCarthy's going to ask for a new ball, and he's working with a runner on first base with no outs. 0-1 count here for him. Working out of the stretch. Evan Bossy 0 for 1 on the day, as McCarthy's going to go right at him with a fastball. He will not show the bunt again. Bossy looked to be pretty late on that one there. See what pitch McCarthy goes with here, but wouldn't be surprised to see another fastball. One, 2 count here.
Mustangs do have a pitcher warming up over there.
Yeah, there is some action in the bullpen as their pitcher got hit a little bit last inning. Bossy will not show bunt again, given the 2-strike count, but that one's going to be popped up and handled by Mike Sullivan for the first out of the inning. Out here in the top of the 4th inning. As Cooper Garvin steps up to the plate for the Hillers. For the Mustangs, apologies. And Thomas is going to get up early. Alex Bossy with a pretty short lead off of first base. McCarthy's going to go at Garvin with the fastball, but that one's going to be hit down the line. Bogosian can't handle it. It goes all the way back to the fence. Bossy rounds third base, and it looks like they're going to send him. And that throw is not in line. Cal can't handle it, and they're going to hold up Garvin at third base. In an unfortunate series of events for the Hillers. Sure, McCarthy would have loved for Bogosian to keep that one in front, but he's now going to have to work with a runner on third base. Anderson will not come out to have a word with him. Looks like the infield's going to be in as that one popped into shallow center field, and he's going to let that one bounce right in front of him. The run will score. McCarthy getting hit a little bit in the top of the 4th inning as the Hillers fall to a 5-4 deficit. This is Towski at the plate for the Mustangs. And Kramis is going to come into the game for the Hillers. Matt has been pretty quick to pull his pitchers after they've ran into trouble so far. See how that strategy works out for him. Kramis is a hard-throwing righty for Hopkinton. His fastball sits in the mid-80s. One of the hardest throwers on the team. Hillers have not had much trouble commanding their pitches so far, but they have been getting hit around a little more than they would like.
And I'll say the errors have been hurting them more than anything today.
Definitely. A lot of contact, though.
Yep. We do have a pretty deep left field here.
Yeah, definitely.
Ball gets out there and it just keeps on going. At least they have the fence up today, but
sometimes they have a portable fence for the baseball field. I don't think they've done that in a couple of years, but
I haven't seen that.
Right when the turf was built, there would be like a yellow fence that would go along there.
Oh, they had the yellow one, yeah, and now they've replaced it with a. Oh, I can actually show it on the camera now. They've replaced it with a metal one. But we have a batter up, so let's go back to the game.
That one's going to be hit hard into center field. Lang again is not going to attack it. That's Pedroli, sorry. The Mustangs finding some unfortunate patches of grass early on in this inning, as we now have one out and runners on first and second. Eric Kell at the plate for the Mustangs, 1 for 2 on the day with a big hit in his last at-bat. Promise is going to let that one get away from him a little bit, as Kell backs up out of the box. 1-0 count here. It's like Connor Moore is going to be holding that guy on second pretty close. Promise gets his sign, working out of the stretch. He'll take a look over at second, mixing them up. And that one's going to be popped up foul. Cal's going to take a look, but it's going to be out of play. One out here. Have a double play set up with the force at first and second base. The Hillers would definitely like that. Promise taking a look at second, and again, that one's sort of getting away from him a little bit. Looks like he's lifting that knee while still looking at second, which could be contributing to that tendency a little bit of letting the ball go a little early. I know that happens sometimes, but I'm sure we'll see him adjust, as he'll land that one in the strike zone, but it's going to be fouled deep into right field, out of play. 1-2 count here. Sorry, 2-1 count.
Ooh.
And that one's going to hit him.
Gotta plunk him.
We've seen this from Kramis a few times this year, where he'll come in and have some command issues, but he definitely is one of the more gifted arms for the Hillers, so when he's on, he's been very effective.
But that loads up the bases with one out.
It does. Kramis has 8.1 innings pitched so far across 6 games. So 1.68 ERA, so he's been very efficient through that time on the mound. Bases loaded here, though, with one out. The infield's going to stay back. Corner's in. As that one's going to come in as a ball. 1-0 count here for Kramis. Really just trying to roll a ground ball here. Let the defense do some work, hopefully, as he'll step off here. Highlanders playing pretty deep, hopefully trying to limit any extra base hits. Promise is going to land that one on the inside of the strike zone, as Smith will not be able to connect. 1-1 count here for Promise. Look over at second, the pitch comes in, and that one's going to be just a little too high. Yet to see Promise get ahead in a count. Should be very crucial given the situation. As that one's gonna miss, bringing up a 3-1 count. You can hear some chatter from the softball game as Medway hits a ball out to the fence. It's a crucial pitch here for Promise with a 3-1 count. And Blue's gonna help him out a little bit as that one clips the lower outside corner of the strike zone. It's a good spot there. Full count here, bases loaded. 1 out in the top of the 4th inning now. Great pitch.
Nice.
That's huge.
Nice.
Promise is going to get him on the fastball for the 2nd out of the inning.
That was important to get.
Yeah, really important not to walk guys with the bases loaded, obviously, but Promise looking to do some damage control in what's now a pretty dicey situation. This is Duguay at the plate, 0 for 2. Promise again cannot get up in the count with the first pitch ball. It's definitely something to be said about getting ahead in a count. Gives you a little bit more liberty to mess around with the off speed and really try to spot your pitches. Blue's gonna give that one to him. He's been liking that lower outside corner of the plate. Bringing up the 1-1 count. So missed that one there. Promise, interestingly, working out of the stretch. You see a lot of guys that are gonna play around with the windup with the bases loaded. I know Coach Anderson's open to that idea, but doesn't typically recommend it. He likes his guys staying pretty consistent out of the stretch with runners on, so allows you to more easily work in slide step. But that one's going to be popped up into right field. Lang is under it, and he'll handle that despite the sun being right there in his eyes. That's a good job. And the Hillers avoid what was a pretty dicey situation for a second there. Promise in relief did a great job after hitting that first batter. Got himself into a tough count in that second at-bat, and then ultimately got himself a pop-up to end the inning. So the Hillers now down 1 run in the middle of the 4th inning, looking to do some damage in the bottom half. So we'll be right back.
back.
All right, 5-4 ball game. Medway leading in the bottom of the 4th inning. Looks like there's been a pitching change. Their ace, Charlie Hosmer, went for them on Wednesday, so we're not going to see any of him today. As that one's going to be well outside of the zone. Connor Moore at the plate, 0 for 1 on the day. He's played a solid second base so far. And the pitcher's going to miss in that same spot. Oh, that one was called a strike. Apologies.
Really?
Tough call. And Connor's going to check that swing for a ball. 2-1 count here on Moore. One of the few lefties in this lineup for the Hillers. As that one's going to be flown out into right field foul. Moore really right up on the plate, you'll notice. Puts a lot of pressure on the pitcher when you crowd the plate. Anderson is big on that, especially with 2 strikes, which we'll see a 2-2 count here. And that one's going to come in inside.
Boy, I thought that was going right at him.
Yeah, me too. I was surprised to see that one not hit him. Full count here for Moore. And he'll
take the walk.
Hold that back. And yeah, huge leadoff runner for the Hillers, trailing by 1. Always good to get that leadoff guy on, no matter what. He's going to pick up the sign from Anderson. It's a pretty good base runner from what I know. And now this is going to bring up the top of the order. Matt Pedroli at the plate, 0 for 2 on the day. Pedroli's going to foul that one down the first baseline.
We haven't seen even an attempt at a steal today.
No.
From either team.
Yeah, it's been a quiet day on the base paths. Hopkinton's usually been pretty aggressive,
Yeah.
but
it burns them sometimes, but yeah.
yeah, and this
A lot
is
of times it
the
works.
same pitcher for Medway. We should note there is a guy warming up in the pen. Not positive who that is quite yet. Here's Pedroli at the plate, 0-1 count, and looks like the Medway pitcher is going to take a look over at first base and check Connor Moore in what was a pretty modest lead. He'll take a look again. And Pedroli's going to hit that one hard foul down that third base line. Brings up an 0-2 count, changes the approach a little bit for him now. Pedroli, like I said, hitless on the day, 0 for 2. As he looks to change that here. He'll get a piece of that one, head out into deep center field, and he'll track that one down. It's a really nice play by the center fielder.
That was a nice catch.
Looks like Pedroli got a good piece of that one, maybe a little bit under it. But with this never-ending center field fence, might be 500 feet to dead center. That one's definitely one that Pedroli's going to have to tip his cap for. It was a nice play by number 14 out in center field.
We used to call it the infinite outfield.
Yeah. We've got our own little triangle over here. As Kramis is up to the plate. Hit twice today, and he'll ground that one to second base. Interestingly, the shortstop does not go to second with it, and there's going to be an error at first base as well. Looks like the throw might have been a little late anyways, but that's going to advance both runners in what might have just been a gift to the Hillers. That looked like a pretty routine double play ball to me. Mishandled it a little bit at short and then went to first with it, and ball went straight into the dirt, and the first baseman couldn't handle it. So Kramis is going to reach on an error, and Connor Moore will advance to third as Kramis is on second here. 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning as Trevor Hodney steps up to the plate.
Pinch runner on second.
Yeah. Maybe Kramis still looking to head out and pitch the top of the 5th, given the fact that he was just courtesy ran for. Hodney's going to watch that one as it clips the top half of the strike zone there. Good spot for him, 2 runners in scoring position. Medway's going to keep the infield playing at normal depth. Which is an interesting decision with no forced play at first and only with a 1-run cushion here in the bottom of the 4th. Trevor Hodney now facing an 0-2 count, really just looking to put the ball in play. He'll watch that one as it missed outside. Pitcher working out of the stretch here, up to 28 pitches. Second baseman's going to work in and out. Hodney will watch that one again as it skips back to the backstop, and Connor Moore will score on the passed ball. Catcher could not block that one, which is going to knot the game up at 5. Go-ahead run on third base. We'll see what Trevor can do here for the Hillers. This is Landon running in place of Kramis now on third base. And now Medway will bring the infield in. Hodney's going to foul that one back. In what's looking to now be a pretty good at-bat for him. Looks like Coach Coppinger from Medway is going to come out to the plate, maybe have a word with Blue. Looks like his catcher may have been injured on the last play, which scored a run for the Hillers. That's Coach Patelis and Coach Kopp taking a look at him. And it looks like he'll be fine. He's walking around now.
I didn't really see what happened at the plate to see if he got collided with or if he just
I'm not sure. It
twisted
like
himself around.
There wasn't much of a play at the plate, but yeah. I couldn't see if he just didn't block it or if it might have went off of his foot or something like that. Might have been why he was hobbling around. I couldn't get a close look. Hodney still at the plate. 2-2 count, 1 out. Fitzgibbons taking the lead off third base. Hodney's going to put that one in play, just foul. Now a 6-pitch at bat for Hodney. He's fouled off 2 pitches in a row. Pitcher sets up. And Hodney's going to hold up there. That pitch was called a ball, bringing up the full count. The pitcher would hate to lose him here in what's already been a 7-pitch at bat. Hodney managing the strike zone very well. And he'll watch that one for a walk on an 8-pitch at bat. That's exactly what Coach Anderson's looking for.
I was gonna say that was a great
He's a huge
at-bat
advocate for quality at bats. So now we're going to be looking at first and third, 1 out. The game's still knotted up at 5 here, and Coach Kopp trots out to the mound. Might be time for a pitching change for the Mustangs. Looks like he's having a word with them. No call to the pen yet. And he's gonna keep his pitcher out there as he trots back to the dugout. Looks like the infield is now back at normal depth. So hold this guy on first base. They have the double play set up in the middle, just the rationale for keeping those guys back. Mike Sullivan at the plate for the Hillers now. 2 for 2 on the day with some huge hits last inning. Huge hit. And that one's gonna clip his leg as the Hillers now look at bases loaded.
So much for that strategy.
Yeah.
Good opportunity for the Hillers. See if they can take advantage of it.
You'd expect Coach Kopp's gonna have to pull this guy if he gets himself into any more trouble than he already has. Pitcher working out of the stretch. So he'll get himself a first pitch strike. This is Mahan at the plate now. Had that 3 RBI double just an inning ago. Oh, that was a ball.
I was going to say, they actually called that a ball.
That one's going to get called a ball, too. Ump's been a little bit inconsistent with that outer half of the zone.
Yeah.
Cal is right up on that plate. Another huge spot for him. He's now looking at a 3-0 count. I think that Coach Kopp may be rethinking that decision to leave his guy out there for another batter.
Yeah, especially if he walks in a run.
Certainly. Cal's second time at the plate in a row with bases loaded. And that one's going to miss too. Walking in a run as the Hillers take a 6-5 lead. Still just 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning. And here comes Coach Kopp to likely pull this guy. As you can see, a pitcher standing in the gateway of the Medway dugout. Looks like he's going to get the call as he walks out right now.
So why don't we step aside for a couple of minutes, let him warm up, and then we'll be right back.
Absolutely. All right, and looks like Medway's going to bring Smith to the mound for their pitching change. Hiller's still with the bases loaded as Bogosian has his first at-bat of the day, subbing in for Davenport, and that one's going to be behind him. Bogosian, again, with a big hit on Wednesday against Holliston. He was hurt to start the year with a shoulder injury, but has worked his way back. And that one's going to hit him. He was also hit early in the last contest against Holliston. Medway having some serious pitching troubles right now. So look to turn things around.
And we'll take the runs if they want them, give them to us like that, but
7-5 ball game now, yeah.
I'd rather see them hit it and get it the honest way.
This is Travis Rich at the plate, 0 for 2 on the day. That one's going to be too high. Medway with the corners in here. Miss his spot again. That one's going to be in the dirt. Good count here for Travis. 2-0 count. There's no better time to do some damage than right now. I'm sure he's hunting the fastball. And he will not have the chance to do any damage as that one's going to hit him. So Hillers now add on to their cushion for an 8-5 ball game. And Coach Kopp's coming back out to the mound for what's been a pretty disastrous inning for the Mustangs. That's tough. He had great pitching on Wednesday. Charlie Hosmer pitched a really good game. I forget exactly what the stat line was, but I think it was like, I think he went 6 with maybe 1 earned run, 2 hits, and like 6 Ks, something like that. But yeah, it's interesting that they used him then and they didn't save him. This Medway team didn't have a ton of seniors over the last couple of years. They were really relying on their current senior class now, those guys that were underclassmen in the past, and they have a pretty solid junior class. Also have some contributors that are sophomores like Eric Kell, who's had a good game for them so far. But I know from talking to Coach Kopp that this year and next year were the years that he's really mapped out as being some good opportunities for them. They've been a program that struggled the last couple seasons.
That is the fun thing about high school sports. You'll see ebbs and flows in each team as the seniors and talent comes up through and moves.
Right. It's not like an MLB team where like it's the same guys for a decade sometimes.
I mean, some programs you'll see consistency. Midfield would generally always have strong teams in almost every sport.
Yeah, well, they've got good coaching. I mean, as do we, I think.
Yeah, I think Hopkinton's always been right up at the top.
I think Anderson and Simos are both college caliber coaches. They're both pretty solid.
Yep.
I think Simos was inducted into the Hall of Fame over the last couple of years, right? He coached like 20 years for Hopkinton.
Yeah.
And he stepped away for a year right when Anderson came in, and now he works as sort of an assistant and works for the infielders a lot.
He came in and did color for us a couple of years ago.
Did he really? How was
tells
that?
Great stories.
Yeah, he's a great guy. And Rich is going to ground that one. Oh, that's Lang, sorry. And the third baseman cannot handle it. Wow. So that's going to score one. Now making this game 9-5 in the Hillers' favor. Looks like Coach Kopp's getting a little frustrated from the dugout, yelling something out at some of his players. It's been a tough inning for these guys. as Connor Moore is going to ground that one at the second baseman, and they'll finally make a play, but a run will still score as Bogosian crosses home plate.
Over on the softball field, the Hillers have also gone ahead, 7-5.
Things are looking up. That's a productive out for Connor, nonetheless. That pitch is going to be called a ball on Pedroli. The Hillers have now batted around the order.
I've lost track of how many pitchers.
I think this
Medway's
is just their
brought up.
this is their third guy of the inning, I think.
I was gonna say.
Pedroli is 0 for 3, which we haven't said much this year, as looks like the Medway pitcher box. Seems like he fumbled the ball in the middle of his windup there, but that'll score a run.
So we've scored runs on bases loaded walks, on hit batters, on a balk.
Yeah, these guys really can't catch a break this inning.
But at least a couple of good hits from the Hillers, too.
Yeah.
So.
You'll notice the corner infielders are back now with 2 outs. Playing behind the bag. And that one's going to be hit hard the other way. Pedroli stays through the zone on that one, and that's going to score another run, now making the game 12-5 for the Hillers. There we go. Now this is Kramis at the plate, 0 for 1. He's been hit twice. And finally the Hillers are going to send a runner as Pedroli steals second. Interesting timing to start being aggressive on the base paths, up 7 runs, but
I'm thinking they just feel they've got Medway on the ropes, and at this point they can just do whatever they want to do.
This game's not completely out of hand yet. Still only the bottom of the 4th inning. That one's going to be popped up to the first baseman, but the second baseman will handle it behind him into shallow right field as Medway finally gets their guys back to the dugout in what was a very tough inning for those guys, but the Hillers capitalized on a lot of their mistakes, and it looks like we have potentially a pitching change as well for them, as that may be Connor Moore on the mound. I can't get a great look from out here, but we'll let you know in just a minute when we're back.
HCAM programming is supported by viewers like you and by Western Nurseries. Since 1923, Western Nurseries has been rooted in a passion for plants and community. The family business has grown from its beginnings in Weston to become a trusted name across Massachusetts. Western Nurseries offers one of the area's best selections of hardy landscape-sized plants, quality gardening and hardscape products, and expert advice you can trust. With locations throughout the region and over a century of experience, Western Nursery continues to help communities grow beautifully.
This program is brought to you in part by TVLSports.net. You can view the standings, stories, pictures, highlights, and more about the 12 teams in the Tri-Valley League at TVLSports.net. TVLSports.net is an independent news and media website reporting on the TVL and is not associated with the MIAA, Tri-Valley League, or any town or school.
We're back.
All right, so apologies for that mistake. That's actually Gabe Cafazzo on the mound. who has not been in the lineup so far, but he's typically an everyday guy for the Hillers, playing in the infield and subbing in the outfield occasionally. Hasn't gotten as much time since Travis has been back, but Bogosian slides to second, and Fitzgibbons is now in left as Connor Moore exits the game. Cafazo's gonna miss the zone on that first one, a little bit up and in. As he's gonna roll a ground ball to Bogosian. He'll handle that one easily as the Hillers collect their first out.
Nice to see just a routine play for once. We've had so many weird
Definitely.
plays today.
Cafazo's been a pretty reliable arm for these guys over the last couple years. Came onto the team as a sophomore. Played some infield. They eventually moved him to third base to fill a hole, but had some quality innings on the mound as well. As he's gonna get ahead as Alex Bossi fouls that one back. Cafazo's not a guy with overwhelming velocity, but he does have some pretty good off speed. He's got a kick changeup, which you'll hear him talk about pretty frequently. And that one's gonna be grounded just foul. Way ahead in the count, 0-2. Gives Cafazo some freedom to try to spot this guy up here. Bossi appears to be pretty on time with that fastball, fouling that first one straight back, maybe rolling over that last pitch. Mahan sets up on the outside of the plate as Gabe just misses his spot. That one looked pretty good to me, but Blue's not going to give it to him. 1-2 count for Cafazo, still working out of the windup.
Swing.
And drop third strike. Cal's going to take care of that. And the Hillers collect their second out of the inning in what is a 12-5 ball game in the top of the fifth. Cafazo 2 outs through only 6 pitches. Striking that last guy out. Now Evan Bossi up to the plate for Medway. Cafazo's gonna hit that guy as Evan Bossi showed bunt. Not sure if that messed with Gabe's flow a little bit there, but he's gonna grab a new ball, head back to the mound, hopefully shake that one off. He's looked great so far.
Too bad we were on our way to a nice, clean 1-2-3 inning.
Yeah, I'm sure Gabe's gonna be fine.
I'm
See how he does. He's gonna take a look at that guy at first, look at him for a second or two there, set up in the stretch, and he'll hit a little jump move, but Evan Bossi will be back in there at first base. Hopkinton now electing not to hold that runner at first, probably because of the 7-run lead that they have. Cafazo's gonna go right at him with the fastball as he swings through it. 0-1 count now on Garvin. Garvin, a former teammate of Cafazo's, back with the Longhorns a few years ago. As he's not gonna find the zone there, as that one goes into the dirt and rolls all the way to the backstop. But Evan Bossi holds up at first base, does not take second on the pass ball. Gabe sets up for a 1-1 count. And he'll go right at him there. Blue will not give it to him. Looked like that one
I was hoping
should have caught some of the 9 square, but I'm not going to give it to him. Gabe's still working out of the stretch as he'll step off. The Hillers leading 7-5 over on the softball field in what initially looked to be bit of a dicey effort. And Garvin will weakly ground that one back to Gabe. He handles that one with ease. And that's going to wrap up the top of the 5th for the Hillers. Gabe with a really clean inning there, which is definitely refreshing to see after Medway's effort in the bottom of the 4th.
All right, we'll be right back. Boom. We're back.
All right. (12-5) ball game in the bottom of the 5th. Hopkinton's going to look to expand on that lead. As Andrew Boschman steps up to the plate for his first at-bat of the day. Boschman batting .176 with a .375 on base percentage so far. Only 8 at-bats for him.
Hopkinton needs more lefties because anything in the air to right now with the sun will be trouble.
Yeah, I know we don't have a lot of lefties, but that one's going to be hit hard, line drive into left field. Boschman will round the bag for a leadoff single.
We'll take that too.
Definitely. Can see him blocking the sun to pick up the sign from Coach Anderson. The sun comes down and shades the left field portion.
Oh.
Looks like he's going to pick, and that one's going to get back to the fence as Boschman grabs second base. Hillers already with an instant runner in scoring position for Mike Sullivan at the plate. 2 for 2 on the day. Mike, like we so often talk about, has been a huge bat for this team. He's a TVL All-Star as a sophomore. And he'll do it right here again. He'll show us why as he hits another line drive up the middle, which will score a run.
Nice.
Hillers take a 13-5 lead. Yeah, things really took a turn pretty fast in this game as they opened it up last inning in light of some of Medway's mistakes.
Is it too early to start talking about mercy rule?
I don't know.
I don't know what the mercy rule is.
Not sure either, but
Tom usually knows.
I don't know if we have one because I know Hopkinton beat what team? They beat a team by like 25 runs earlier this year. I'm blanking on what game that was. That was early. Fitzgibbons is gonna run for Sullivan. Looks like he's gotten a lot of pinch running action today. Cal at the plate will remind you, huge 3-run double earlier in the game in what was then a pretty close game. They've since opened it up, but 2-0 count for Cal as he'll watch that one in for a third ball. Cal historically very disciplined at the plate. And that one's going to get called to strike. Now a 3-1 count on Cal. Wouldn't expect Fitzgibbons to be too aggressive on the base paths given the score. Cal's going to pop that one up into foul territory. The first baseman's going to track it, and they'll watch that one bounce out of play. Now a full count for Mahan. No outs. Cal's going to look to put this one in play.
Not that one.
Or he'll do just that and take first base on the walk. 6-pitch walk.
He would have had to take an Uber to get over to that one.
First and second now for Bogosian. No outs. As that one will not be called a strike. Bogosian with those toes on the white line, putting pressure on the pitcher, but he'll turn on this one. Flown into left field, and that one will be tracked down. 1 out here for the Hillers in the bottom of the 5th. Bogosian just a little bit under that one. Looks like he caught it off the end of his bat as well. First and second now for Travis Rich. Travis was hit in his last at bat. So he'll watch that one for a ball. Second baseman works on that runner. And Travis is going to watch that one all the way to the backstop. Both Hillers advance. Now 2 runners in scoring position for Travis. Good opportunity to do some damage. He's 0 for 2 on the day so far. Travis is a guy with a lot of raw pop off the bat. He's going to ground that one foul. Medway's pitcher will continue to work out of the stretch, as it looks like he may have dropped that ball for a balk. I think that's the second time we've seen something similar from that guy.
Wow.
It's not usually the way you see a guy balk. He's dropping the ball out of his glove, but the mistakes continue to pile up for those guys. Travis watches that one for the walk.
Yeah, it's going to be a interesting post-game team meeting in Medway today.
Yeah, I'm sure Copp's not going to be happy with these guys. Can definitely handle some of the physical mistakes, but the mental ones.
Little discussion with
more.
the umpires.
Is this Anderson out there? Or no, that's the umpires just going to talk. Yeah.
Oh, it is. Yep.
Anderson was pretty frustrated last game against Holliston. The umps made a couple of controversial calls in a row, and he ended up having a word with those guys, but he'll be a little more calm now. It's hard not to be with a 9-run lead in the bottom of the 5th. This is Cuba Riley subbing into the game, middle infielder for the Hillers. Gonna swing there, but cannot connect.
I was gonna say he was looked like he was gonna give me my home run, but
what's going on? Oh, Game Changer's freaking out. Sorry, this is still Travis. It was telling me that Kubo was up. So Travis is gonna go down swinging. I hate when they do that. now we have Cooper Riley.
Nice pitch.
This is Koopa's first at bat of the day. He's going to watch that one for a ball. Koopa's another one of these guys that has not gotten as much time since Travis has been back from that hip. And he will watch another ball there, bringing up a 2-1 count. Cal Mahan on third. That one's going to be popped up. Center fielder camped under it. No Sun to worry about this time. And that's going to get the third out for the Mustangs. We'll be right back for a 15-4 ball game.
HCAM programming is supported by viewers like you and by Phipps Insurance Agency, a family-owned and operated independent agency located in Hopkinton. Since 1950, Phipps Insurance has provided competitively priced, time-tested coverage tailored to individuals' needs. Specializing in home, auto, business, condo, and renters insurance, they are deeply rooted in the communities they serve. Whether you're new to the area or a lifelong resident, you'll benefit from the trusted advice of their professional service advisor.
Saturday morning cartoons are back. Every Saturday at 8 a.m., HCAM's Toon Time has an hour of classic cartoons, from Betty Boop to Superman to Popeye to Bugs Bunny and more. You'll see your old favorites and discover new ones. So tune in to Toon Time, Saturdays at 8, and start your weekend off with a laugh. We're back.
All right, no surprise, Cafazzo back on the mound after a really efficient 11-pitch inning, in spite of that hit batter. And I say no surprise, but it might be a little bit of a surprise to some of you that have been keeping up with this Hillers team so far. They've been very big on the committee-style pitching, letting guys typically only go 1, maybe 2 innings. But Cafazzo's going to get the nod to come back out here. Spallone will be leading it off for Medway. Looks like Gabe and Cal are going to have a quick chat as Cal now heads back behind the plate. Cafazzo's going to set up on the rubber, working out of the windup. Pitch comes in just inside. He's not going to get the call. Not a bad spot. And that one's going to be a little low. Cafazzo now working with a 2-0 count. He's going to have to work back here. So that might have been Cafazzo's kick change there, as that one's hit into shallow center in a diving play by Pedroli.
Beautiful catch.
We've seen that one before with his brother over the last couple of years. That might be a Pedroli classic, but a great play by him nonetheless. Gabe's going to appreciate that one. Those are always huge when you're a pitcher, to get some plays like that from your guys. Very strong defense from this Hopkinton team, as Gabe now has 1 out. And that one will be called a ball on Towski, who's 2 for 3 on the day. I think that was that kick change again. Pedroli's going to handle it into center for a base hit. Hopkinton has some action in the pen. Looks like they're sending a guy back to the dugout. Anderson, as we know, pretty quick to pull that trigger on a pitching change, but No reason to pull Gabe so far. He's going to take a look at Towski leading off of first base. Working out of the stretch. He'll go slide step, and that one is hit hard at the third baseman. He'll try to turn the double play, throw just offline, so he couldn't turn it, but still a nice play by Trevor Hodney. Does a good job to play that off the initial bobble, working to his backhand. Still getting the out at second. Now a man on first for the Hillers after that fielder's choice. Eric Kell on first. And that one's going to be fouled back. This is Smith at the plate for Medway, 1 for 3 on the day. Gabe has 2 outs for himself now. He's had some great defense behind him this inning. Working out of the stretch. He'll go slide step again. And that one, I believe, was called a ball. Mixed in some off speed early in this count. 1-1 count now on Smith. As Cafazzo can't find the strike zone. No hold on this runner on first base. Cafazzo working out of the stretch. Pitch is coming in, and that one will be called a strike.
So you better give him that one. Over on the softball field, Hillers have just wrapped it up with an 8-5 win. Let's hope we can. I think it's safe to think that we're going to match them here. But you know, you never know until.
Medway could really string something together, I guess. But, you know, Hopkinton definitely has a lot deeper of a pitching staff. 2-2 count here. Pitches in. That one's going to be grounded to Rich. Makes an on-the-run effort, and he'll throw that guy out handily at first base. Travis has had a great game defensively at short. Gabe's going to appreciate that one as the Hillers now head into the bottom of the 6th inning with a 9-run lead. We'll be right back. Well, we're back with Cafazo coming to the game on the mound. He's going to get an opportunity at the plate as well. Cafazo 0 for 0 on the day. This is his first at bat. He's batting .308 on the year with a .375 on base percentage. He's going to turn on that one, popped up into left center field, and the left fielder will get under that.
Gave it a ride.
Yeah, just a little bit under that one. Cafazo had a great game on Monday, tallying 2 hits. Can't be too upset about that one.
No.
Attacked the fastball. Now Pedroli at the plate. Line drive into center field last at bat, which scored a run, I believe.
I mean, that is a point with our big outfield here. Would that have been a run in other fields?
Yeah, right. Definitely changes things. .2-0 count for Pedroli, looking to do some damage. He's going to turn on that one and send it away. Center fielder headed back, and he's going to handle that one. That is Charlie. That is Spallone in center field.
2 long outs.
Got a good piece of that one. I would say that one might leave at some other fields. Promise at the plate now. 0 for 2 with 2 hit by pitches. I believe he scored some runs for these guys as well. Pinch ran for him, last time he reached base. And that one almost hit him again.
I said that went over his shoulders.
Yeah, he seems to be some sort of a magnet today. You'll notice, though, I mean, I keep saying it, but these guys, they get right on the plate, and that, as a pitcher, there's definitely a psychological piece to that. I always hated pitching around guys that were right on top of the plate, as I'm sure everyone does, but that's why Matt has these guys right up on the plate, is for that reason. So you give up the inside of the strike zone a little bit, but some pros and cons. But Kramis is going to foul that one back, bringing up a 3-1 count. And he'll watch that one. He'll take his walk, giving the Hillers a base runner now with 2 outs. You'd expect Kramis to stay right there on first base. Medway is holding him, however. Be surprised to see Matt give him the go-ahead to try and steal. Pitcher will take a look at him and step off, though.
I mean, with a non-run lead, the only reason...
Yeah, he's going to check him. That's kind of... It's weird that he's checking him there.
Yeah.
I can tell you for almost a fact that Matt's not giving this guy the steal sign that goes against his usual philosophy.
Do it for practice.
Yeah.
But that's about...
Well, that one's almost going to hit Hodney at the plate. Hodney 1 for 2 now. That one's going to come in for a strike. Hodney made that backhand play at third base last inning. He's looked very good defensively. He has tallied a hit today. He's going to watch another strike, bringing up a 1-2 count for him. 2 outs, man on first. And that one's going to be right above the strike zone. 2-2 count now for Hodney. As Kramis takes his lead, the pitcher's going to check him, working out of the stretch. Goes slide step, and that one is going to just miss the zone. Count is full now for Hodney. Hodney's going to turn on that one right down the third base line. Hit hard but foul. Piecing together another good at bat. Hodney walked on, I think, 7 or 8 pitches last time around.
Oh, yeah, that was a great at-bat then.
He's going to pop that one up foul.
That might...
And that looks like it's going to hit a truck driving on the road. He's going to keep driving, but wow, that's a wrong place, wrong time for that guy.
It's usually one of the cars in the parking lot.
Yeah, I've never seen that before. It's surprising that more don't get hit, though, but...
It's like over at Polar Park in Worcester when they hit the train that goes by.
Yeah.
They've had that happen a few times.
While we were talking about that truck, Hodney watches a 4th ball. Runners on 1st and 2nd now in the bottom of the 6th here. Bringing Fitzgibbons up to the plate. Fitzgibbons 1 for 1 on the day. He's going to foul that one back. The Hillers not letting up despite their 9-run lead. They're going to make sure that they win this one with authority. Pitcher just misses the zone there. He mixed in a little bit of a leg kick timing change sort of thing, which is not unusual to see at the high school level. Fitzgibbons is going to pop that one up into shallow left. Some miscommunication as that one falls. It's going to find some grass, and that's going to score a run.
And the hits just keep on coming.
Looked like the left fielder did not come in on that one, and it seems like that's going to...
There's our mercy.
That's going to bring the mercy rule into effect for a 15-5 win for the Hillers on this Friday evening. Excellent effort all around. Coach Anderson's definitely going to be happy about that one. And that's going to be it for us, but we hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night, and good for the Hillers to pick up this win.
As Tom Nappy would say, the final score for the final time, Medway 5, Hopkinton Hillers 15. Thank you for watching HCAM, and we'll see you next time.
Awesome.
Good job.
Thank you. That was a good game.